fact I've written the app myself, the fact I haven't relied on developers to do this, the fact I have done this all myself, and Google have said.
It's currently Sunday night and I've spent, I kid you not, 4 hours trying to upload last week's video. Well, it's not technically uploading last week's video, it's actually downloading it from Descript. I don't know what's going on. It gets to 49% and then it's just crashing. I've been restarting the router every couple of hours and it doesn't think it's been restarted since the storms last week, which was middle of the week. So I'm totally confused. I'm going to give it a bit longer. If it doesn't work, I'll be contacting EE in the morning because I'm not a happy bunny at all. I think it's been switching from connecting to the internet and connecting to my phone. So thank God I'm on a all-inclusive plan with EE for my mobile phone. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Julie Kubiak and I'm the brains, the IT director and the looks and everything behind Masquerading. And this is my channel where I take you behind the scenes and show you everything that's going on with the new social fiction platform, as well as getting work-life balance right. But at the minute it is 9:20 Sunday night and I need to call it a day because I've got a lot going on tomorrow, a really busy week. But if I didn't start this vlog now, I won't actually get an intro in until the next video. So let's crack on and let's get to work.
I've just had the final report back from Google. It was via a meeting, so I haven't actually still got my hands on it. But I just wanted to jump on here while I just kind of digest it all and think out loud to you. So pages and pages of notes here, but all good. Again, I am just blown away at how can I describe this? What I've managed to achieve. And yes, I'm gonna blow my own trumpet. Nobody else is going to at the minute. But what I've been able to achieve with the help of AI and developing an app using Firebase and Google Cloud Platform. Both of those were totally new to me. I had set them up for another project back in 2022, and I'll reference that again in a few minutes as to why that's significant. But this is all self-taught through AI. But obviously my knowledge and my background in IT have helped tremendously in getting this app to the level that it is. And they couldn't find really any problems. But I'm going to go through what they did discuss with me, what they've looked at, and some of the things that they did pick up on. And there's nothing groundbreaking. There was nothing that they said, oh my God, it's that critical, you know, pull the app, or, you know, you're going to have to do this before you get users on there. Nothing like that, absolutely nothing. And they've said that even on their support side of things, when they're working with other businesses, they have found dramatic back doors left open and codes that could be copied, API keys that were vulnerable and had been within the code. But none of those issues and none of those problems were found within my app, or apps I should say, because bearing in mind there's Masquerading app and there's Masquerading Pets app, but then I also have built within there the help desk apps for both of them, so if users need to contact me they can do through that. They also looked at the new Masquerading Productions app. I was like, you didn't have to look at that, but anyway they did. And then there was something else that they picked up on, I can't remember. Anyway, but like I say, nothing really that they looked at. So basically there were 3 sections that they looked at, and I couldn't obviously remember what the 3 sections were that they were reporting on. The code, which is what I had the initial feedback on last week. Then they were looking at Firebase and IAM, which are the roles. And then they were looking at fire-based security and the overall architecture. So yeah, if you go back and watch my last video where I couldn't even string a flipping sentence together and I couldn't even say the technical words that I was looking for. So on the code, they were saying about just service keys and rotating them. It was more, they were just telling me good practices. And they said that there was an unassigned service role that just needed to be stripped out because it wasn't in there. It had just been created and never used. Okay, I'll delete it. Then the Firebase, or the I am as well, which again is like the roles. They basically said it's a good and safe environment. That was like the key takeaway. That is what they were talking about. Again, they went through and just said from an organisational point of view, they just really told me key takeaways like, don't forget, if you're setting up project settings, don't do it from an organisational level, do it from project level for each of the different things, just for scalability purposes. But obviously set it at organisational level for other things, which we'll discuss in a minute. They also picked up on, what was it? There was some tokens or keys, as they're also called, that were not in use, and they questioned and queried that. And when we looked at it, they were actually created back in 2022, and I said, they're not in use, they can be deleted. Again, that comes back to the other things that could be deleted, that they just said, oh yeah, well, if that's not in use, if it relates to 2022, we'll just delete it then. It was because I was holding on to it was a trial setup that I'd done when I'd originally had the original Masquerading app that I had built by developers that never really completed, didn't carry through. So they'd sent me a whole list of things that I had to set up, and I did that, and then we went no further with it. So all that initial setup can be deleted, but it did give me a bit of knowledge to help me set this up in the last 6 to 9 months. When was it I set it up? October time, September, October. So October, November, December, January, May, we're now in June. Yeah, so 8-9 months ago. So anything prior to that can obviously be deleted. They went through backup and recovery, which I'd already got set up, but they showed me 2 other places. Other 2 places, I just need to check on those, that I can actually set it up. And they just said you only really need to back up every day for 7 days. So that was good to know. I think in my version of my backup, I was backing it up on a daily basis, a weekly basis, and a monthly basis as well. Yeah, daily, weekly, and monthly, and keeping 3 months worth. That's probably why my Google Cloud billing is quite high. I say quite high at the minute. It's like £8 a month. Wait till I've got hundreds or thousands of people on the app, then that's going to go up a bit. Disaster recovery was another tick box thing that I just got to switch on because that hadn't been set up. But because I'd already got the backup in place, that kind of covers the disaster recovery. If you know, you know. But obviously, by setting it up within Firestore means that it is backed up properly within Firestore. And audit logs that I can switch on as well. So if somebody deletes a database, but only I can delete databases, so only I can report myself to management, which is myself. Anyway, other than that, the Firebase and security, so the architecture, we were just going through the different rules. He was just explaining a couple of things that he'd picked up on the rules. He said, if this is how you want it to work, then that rule's fine. If not, you could consider this, this, and this. So it wasn't anything that was groundbreaking. It wasn't anything that's going to stop the app. So I just, I could cry. I really could cry. I've waited like years to have proper developers look at anything I've been working on. And back then it would have been the then Masquerading website, the Joomla template, the off-the-shelf kind of package that I was trying to literally fit a square peg into a round hole, or a triangle peg into a square hole. I digress. But this is divine fucking timing. If you've been watching me for long enough, you know that that phrase, divine fucking timing, sticks with me. It just crops up all the time in my life. So the fact I've written the app by myself, the fact I haven't relied on developers to do this, the fact I have done this all myself, and Google have said there's next to no problems. What were the actual words that I used? Because they said it to me. I've lost it now. It's a good and safe environment. And the fact that the project manager signed up to the app, and she said she'd got a little dog and she's got little pets that she likes to dress up as well. Oh my God, my heart was just bursting then. She showed me a little doggy on the Google Meet. Oh my gosh, so cute. So yeah, after all these years, the time was right. There was no point Google looking at an app that wasn't really made for me, that was just like an off the shelf, but one that I have literally coded from scratch, built up, designed it and developed it exactly how I wanted it. They even went down to the level of looking at the lanyard. Who can see what? And can anybody view too much? Or is it showing too little? Everything that they looked at, and no problems. And it's, sorry, it is quite emotional. So yeah, an emotional meeting, an emotional time. They actually overran because I think they were quite impressed, and they just kept saying, yeah, we couldn't find anything wrong, but we just want to tell you this and we want to suggest that. And it was just telling me things and suggesting things. Nothing needed doing. Nothing was stopping anything. So yeah, so Google have looked at it at the right time. So now I've got a few things that I want to check, and obviously they've suggested a few things that I might want to just change, tweak or whatever, just suggestions. But I will wait because the report's coming through tomorrow. I'll go through that with a fine tooth comb, with a coffee and with AI. I might run this through Cursor AI. I might actually give it to Opus. I think Opus is now on 4.7, and see what Opus says. Give it the whole document and just say, what do you think? Because like I said, there's nothing to change. It's just recommendations. And then I have got no excuses then. This needs to be launched. This needs to go out to the world. As people keep saying to me, I've got such an amazing app and yet nobody knows about it. I'm so... I think probably I'm nervous about knockbacks and setbacks, and I shouldn't be. But I think I'm more nervous about people saying, oh, it's crap, or it's shit, or, oh, what would I want to use that for? Because in the past, people have said, well, why are you doing that? Why, I use Facebook, I use Discord, so on and so forth. But that was when it looked like Facebook. So yeah, I can understand why would people want to have something that looked like Facebook. This isn't. This is a masquerading app. This is unique. And even the developers love the lanyard, the whole process of it. Yeah, they love the whole idea of it. It's just unique. No one else does this. No one else has got this. So yeah. I'll get the documents through from them tomorrow, and they've recorded the Google Meet as well, so I can go back and listen to that. And yeah, what day is it today? I've lost track of days again. It's like every day is either a working day or a bank holiday in my mind. Why doesn't my Apple Watch just tell me a day? It's the 2nd. What does the 2nd mean? Unless you actually tell me the day on my watch. Maybe I should change the watch face. It's Tuesday. Yeah. So I think I'm going to spend tomorrow chatting and drinking coffee with Cursor AI, making the changes, and then spend the rest of the week doing the YouTube shorts and getting them done. So I'm not going to give myself a time scale. I'm not going to give any time frame, and push myself. It's the last thing I want, not with everything else that's been going on and what I'm dealing with. So if I can get everything done by the weekend, I'll get everything done by the weekend. If this is interspersed with lots of other shorts that you've been seeing, then you'll know. You'll know that I have actually done the shorts. But if you go onto the YouTube channel, Masquerading Limited, LTD, that is not limited. And if you also have a look at, it's exactly the same handle on all platforms. So it's that on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. What's the other one? LinkedIn. Probably won't post on LinkedIn, to be fair. YouTube. If you go on YouTube, we just said that. Yeah. Check out in about a week's time, or depending when you're watching this video, these will already be out there. But I've rabbited on long enough. I'm going to wrap this up now. If I add anything else to it, you're in luck. You've got some more content to watch. But if not, I will see you back here next week, and I will hopefully give you a final update as to what they did suggest and what AI did to adjust and amend some of the suggestions that Google have recommended. So let me get back to work.